Hello, my name is Philip Mustafa, and today I'm going to talk about the 3 basic steps in boxing. And you will hear some noise because I'm in the gym with other people, but I'm going to try to speak up and explain these 3 basic steps. The first step is footwork and balance. The second step is going to be how to throw a punch. And the third step is going to be the movement. So, with all being said, let's get started. Now, the first step is balance. And the way to get your balance correctly and properly is to stand straight with your toes pointing forward. And if you're right-handed, you want to make sure your right hand is going to be your power hand. It's going to be the back hand. And your left hand will be your jab hand. So if you're right-handed, you're going to take your right foot and step up about 3 inches. And then you're going to bring your hands up to your face. Then you're going to turn. Now that is your boxing stance. And then you're going to take a short bit, just squat down a little bit. That's going to be your boxing stance right there. So again, that is stand forward, facing the wall, straight, with your toes pointing forward. Take about a 3-inch step, and then hands up, and turn, as we're in the boxing position. I'm going to show you how that looks this way. Standing facing this wall. I'm going to step up a little bit, hands up, I'm going to turn. And that is my boxing position. Now this is important because without footwork, you won't have balance, and you can trip up and fall, and you also won't be able to move around the ring properly and throw effective punches, because you're going to use your legs to throw the punches, to give you motion and force and power into your punches. Alright, so I'm going to show you some quick examples. And I'm going to move around a little bit. But before we move around, I'm going to have to show you how to move around. Now, boxing is a little bit different. The movement's a little different. So, after you get in your stance, if you want to move forward, you're going to have to pick up your front leg first and push off your back leg to move forward. So, it's going to be front leg first. That's moving forward. So now again, let's do that again. We're going to move forward, front leg first. Now, again, moving forward, front leg first. You notice how my front leg is moving first. Pay close attention. Front leg first. Now, if you want to move backwards, it's going to be the opposite. Back leg first. Now, your instinct, your natural body reaction is going to be to pick up your front leg. But it's going to be your back leg first. Same thing with moving forward. You're going to first think, your body's going to react to moving your back leg. But you have to pay attention and practice this. It will become natural. So when I want to move backwards, I'm going to pick up my back leg first. Do that again. Backwards, back leg first. Same thing moving sideways. If I want to move to my left leg first. So right leg follows right behind it. I'll move left again. Same thing moving right. If I want to move right leg first. Do it again. Now you also have to know that if you take 3 inches, a 3-inch step forward, with your front leg, your back leg have to follow 3 inches forward. Same thing moving left and right and backwards. If you move 3 inches to the left, with your left leg, your right leg has to follow 3 inches over. So let's do that again. I'm going to go over all 3. I'm going to move forward, backwards, to the left, and to the right. So here we go. Simple, but it takes practice. Now, the second part we're going to move into is throwing the punches. Throwing the punches is very important because you want to have power into your punches. You also want to make sure you keep your hands up and bring your punches back, your hands back after you throw a punch to protect yourself. So I'm going to go over 2 of the most basic punches. I don't have much time to go over all of them, but I'm going to go over the first 2 punches. That's going to be the jab and the cross. Now, if you want to throw the jab, you're going to have to take your left hand, which is your front hand, and aim in an upward angle. So aim high. That's your jab. When you throw your jab, you also want to step into it. So that's your jab. The reason why we aim high is because if you aim high with your jab, your opponent cannot counter you because now your jab is a defense because they can't go over your hand because your hand is high. But if you aim low, your opponent can come right back and hit you right here in the face. If you aim high, your hand is in the way, they can't hit you. Now let me show you what that looks like sideways. If you aim low, your opponent can counter you. If you aim high, your opponent can't hit you. Your hand is blocking your face. Now the second punch, I want to take a step back every now and then and just make sure I'm on time. But the second punch is the cross hand. The cross punch is kind of like the jab, but this is a powerful punch. It also protects you if you throw it properly. So the cross punch is going to be right here, that aim high. With this punch, you want to make sure you shift your weight a little bit to your back leg. Not too much, just a little bit. Just a little bit back. So you want to shift your weight right here, and you load up, and then you explode. Another thing about throwing your punches is you want to turn your legs into your punch. So if you notice, if you watch my leg here, when I throw it turns, I explode. So I'm right here, I load up, I turn. Load up, I turn. And I'm back. You notice how I always bring my hands back? I throw the punch, I'm back. I don't throw the punch, I do this. My hand is always up. Never throw a punch and do this. Never do this. Always hand back. So those are the 2 punches I'm going to go over today. The jab and the cross. Those are the punches that I use most frequently in boxing. Now the third part of boxing is movement. So you want to move left, right, front and back, but you also want to move your head. You got to know how to move your head around. So with moving your head, you're going to shift. You're going to shift. You're going to roll. There's 2 parts of moving your head. Shift, left, right. Shift left, shift right. Again, a little squat to keep your balance. Shift left, shift right. Shift left, shift right. This is to make your opponent miss. If your opponent throws a punch at you, coming at your face, you'll got to just shift left, just a little bit. And then when they throw another punch, shift right. You always want to mix it up because you don't want your opponent to always know where you're at or know where you're going. If you're always shifting right, they know you're going to shift right, you're going to throw it to the right, and the punch is going to be waiting for you on your way there. So you always want to make sure you shift left, shift right. Shift left, shift left, shift right. Always mix it up. Now the second part of the movement is, the head movement is the roll. So you're going to roll under the punch. This is for the hooks. These are the hook punches. So when you throw the hook, you want to roll. You want to roll. You want to roll. You want to roll. Roll left. Roll right. When you roll, you want to shift your weight. So you want to roll left. You want to roll right. So with the movement, you also have opportunity to counter. So when you roll, right here, you come with a punch because you load it up. Every time you roll, get ready. When you shift, so always be ready to throw a punch, no matter what you do. Always be ready. Counter. 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 Now, counter basically means you make your opponent miss and you catch them as soon as you make them miss. That is a counter. So with all of those three put together, I'm going to show you how to go the jab and the cross with head movement and shifting from left to right. So with all of that stuff being put together, this is what it looks like when you face an opponent in a boxing match. Notice I'm aiming high, and I'm breathing. So that is the end of my video. Those are the 3 basic steps in boxing. That is what it looks like when you put it all together. Thank you.